one of the main reasons of getting involved into this garden and landscape industry, it is to express myself creatively. I feel that we can actually, in any environment, have change our perspective and express ourselves in a creative way, looking at problems in a creative way, and actually encouraging others to think out of the box, solving social problems, ecological problems, even environmental problems.
Yeah. No, I like that point about problem solving. Like, design is a problem solving enterprise when it's garden and landscape design anyway. That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the creative element to it, obviously, which is really important. I really enjoy that artistic side of it. But what really gets me engaged is that you've got a problem to solve. Yeah, and it takes a lot of, there's a puzzle, and you basically need to solve the puzzle. Yeah.
Yes, I like the analogy of the puzzle,
yeah.
Because every time when you arrive at a specific site, or you're given a specific client, you are given this puzzle and to build and to solve.
Yeah.
And that brings me to another reason, I think, of our industry, is that there's so many different pathways in this industry.
Yeah, different elements to the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of our graduates will become self-employed, or go into a landscape office, or work for a public authority, or work for a contractor. Yeah. So yeah, there's different areas within the market and within the industry that these people can go into.
Yes, and that is a very positive thing for our industry in the garden and landscape design. There will be a niche for you in that broader field,
right,
that you can select and expose yourself and experience into that.
Yeah. Because that's what I've done personally. I've specialised within the industry, so it's the garden and landscape design industry, you could say. And within that, there's room for me to specialise in, as I call it, ecologically informed planting design. So planting design that's informed by a lot of ecological theory, and that's something that we teach.
Yeah.
We teach here quite a lot. It's going to be an increasingly important part of the industry going forward. But that's a specialism. And there's multiple different specialisms. And some people are more into the technology and the technical drawing side of it. Some people are more into producing the master plans, or the technical specification side of it, or the management side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all kind of, it's a diverse industry. Yeah, and on this course, we're pretty good, I think, at giving people a broad appreciation of all those different aspects to the industry. So you're skilled up, and then you could go on and develop those interests, postgraduate studies or in industry.
Yeah, that is, and that exposure actually brings me back to us teaching and as designers, the use of different materials, and what makes us actually very unique in industry is that our students have exposure to both design and design philosophies and drawing techniques and skills, but also the plant materials that becomes part of our palette when we're designing. So that is a unique ability and skill that actually contributes to your qualification here. And what other elements do you think, or reason why you have selected this industry?
Well, in my background, I started off doing a degree in ecology and ecological science, but I had, obviously my family background was one of where gardening was just an integral part of the everybody had a garden, everybody did gardening, mostly vegetable gardening. So it's something I'd been doing since I was a kid, gardening, and then I did ecology, and I got very interested in design after graduating. Because, you know, a full-on science degree, which ecology is, it left me quite dried up, actually. It's just like, it's so kind of, it's so dry, mathematical, and kind of, you know, like that. So, yeah, I was just desperate for something more creative, I suppose. More expressive, more creative. Yeah, more emotionally engaging than a dry science. I was never going to, it was apparent to me after 4 years of an undergrad degree that I was never going to be a scientist proper, you know. Doing all that statistics and lab work and stuff. But I do appreciate the rigor and the complexity and the challenge, the mental challenge of all that. So, yeah, I mean, garden and landscape design is a complex industry. It is a complex job. So you do have that intellectual challenge. It's a difficult puzzle, isn't it? There's lots of different puzzles, and there's lots of different elements, from the hydrology and the topography to the aesthetics of the site, and then there's, you know, circulation and flow, and then the whole planting aspect of it is variously complex, or can be. So there is that intellectual challenge, but there's also what was lacking in my degree, I think, was the creative side of it. And that really was a big attraction for me.
Yeah, and I think that is the nice thing about our program, is that you are exposed to different, you can either focus with your hands, and you can construct something with your hands, building walls, creating paving, or creating an artifact, but then you can also focus more on the graphic skills, computer, using your mouse to design. So that is also creating this different entry points into your design, and how to showcase what you have designed, and that language that you are developing in your design process.
Yeah, that's a big part of the course, isn't it? Just the vocabulary and the language of landscape.
Yeah,
that's fun. I enjoy teaching like that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
where you're teaching people how to read the landscape. The landscape can be read. The intentions of the designer can be read off the land. Going on field trips is great for that. Yeah,
it's quite practical.
Yeah,
it's not just theory that we are teaching you something, but you also have to apply that theory in design.
Yeah.
But we start with you. We start this journey with you with the basic skills of drawing, so you don't have to be Picasso or a very good artist. I'm not an artist at all, but that language I can express what the design needs to be and how people can read it.
Yeah, I think that's an important point. Like, you don't have to be Picasso to come and do a garden or a landscape design degree.
Yeah.
But you will be here at the drawing board.
Yeah.
And it can be quite terrifying looking at a blank piece of paper. And that's a challenge for us, isn't it? Like, getting people over that hurdle of sort of the anxiety blockage, as it were, of like staring at an empty page and feeling terrified that you've got to somehow produce this amazing drawing. But actually, it's iterative and incremental, and you just start mark making, and you build confidence from day one, making marks and communicating your ideas, but developing the ideas.
Yeah. I think when I was a student, that was the biggest fear, this big piece of white paper looking at you. I don't know what do I need to do on that paper, and I'm so scared of if I draw this line and what if it's wrong. But we will teach you that step by step. First, just by using certain methods or models of designing, and when you get more confident in that process, you're developing your own style. How different designs also influence your design style.
So you get a lot of exposure to different, in the lectures and the seminars, you get a lot of exposure to different kinds of design styles and historical figures from the history of landscape design. And then, it's really about confidence, though, isn't it? Just through practice, engaging with the process. And it's wonderful for us to see that development of students, right, from being really anxious right through to making really quite competent designs
Mm.
and drawings, and even 3D models and complex things like that.
Mm. And then it doesn't stop there. We also teach you how, what influenced that design, those environmental influences, looking at sustainability, looking at runoff, water runoff, plant ecologies, and so it's not just a pretty picture that you are designing, actually you're looking at a very bigger drawing. And we as designers then have this responsibility with all these climate change influencing our environment, our current environment. We need to contribute and start addressing that through our design.
So all gardens and landscapes should have sustainability built in to the design. It's not just methodology or something like that. The actual gardens should have a degree of sustainability, sustain themselves with minimum inputs down through the years, maintain their integrity. So that's a strong emphasis of the course. Going forward, that's crucial. Which brings in a lot of that's the puzzle, isn't it? That's the part of the puzzle now. That's a new part of the puzzle, maybe. This how to make these landscapes sustainable, and those are growth areas in the industry as well. Sustainable urban drainage systems, for example, and we're going to touch on that in the course.
So if you're interested in our program, these are just some of the factors or discussion points that we will be touching in your years of studying with us.